Hey, and a good evening. Meteorologist Chris Smith here in the Panhandle Weather Studios here on this Wednesday night, the eve before we get some, hopefully, a nice dousing of rain headed our way. More on that with meteorologist Dan Nyman, who is in his spare bedroom checking out things in the Springfield Bureau of Panhandle Weather.
Yeah, 65 degrees in the house right now. So it's drafty. It's not even that cold outside.
I know you might be at the tipping point of it being colder in your house than outside. There actually might be like a frontal boundary. Like maybe let me know if like when you walk outside if you don't see a line indicating
That
front.
explain that explains the fog in the living room. Yeah, it definitely did feel a little nicer outside than inside the house. I had a pullover over top of this, which is over top of a thick t-shirt, but we will get through this. Next week, no air conditioning, no heating. It's going to feel fantastic
Yeah.
in the Springfield house.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we get enough moisture. If it's one of those things you almost turn on the air conditioning, not because it's too warm, but just to like kind of knock a little bit of the humidity out of the house. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure how humid it's going to get, but it'll definitely be warm, mid 70s. I told the kids, I said, if it gets warm enough Christmas week, if you guys will swim in the pool, I'll turn on the pool heater. So we'll see.
We're going to be getting spring fever, I think, by Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, but if they want to get on Santa's bad list, then all they have to do is not swim when I turn on the pool heater. And then it's a meaner dad comes out. One that's spending a lot of money to heat the pool for nothing.
Say goodbye to the Christmas
Yeah.
presents. Get into the forecast. Obviously, it looks a little cloudier outside.
Yeah, we saw that today. And there were a few peaks of sunshine, but for the most part, we saw mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures right now 64 degrees, but if you look here at your dew point in Destin, it's 59. So that gives us an idea that lows aren't going to get much lower than the upper 50s as we head through the overnight hours tonight. And I expect pretty much 50s area wide. Out over across Panama City Beach, 62 degrees, dew point of 58. Winds are out of the east to southeast at 8 miles per hour. That's from the camera there at Schooners. And over at Pineapple Willie's, you can see a little bit of a breeze there blowing the beach flag there, indicating yellow flag conditions today. Not that with a 62-degree water temperature, many of you were getting in the water, but still nonetheless, it was looking pretty decent, at least throughout the day. It was at least fairly comfortable. Temperatures this morning, it was cold for sure across our area, but we avoided the freezing temperatures as we promised. We stayed into the 30s, and we saw 40s down along the coastline, but then it warmed up quickly through the 50s and into the 60s. Our high temperatures today, look at that, 69, 69. 72 degrees. So looking pretty good as far as those temperatures today, even though we didn't see maybe the amount of sunshine that we maybe would like to see. Right now, we're currently right around this 60-degree mark. We're low 60s at the coast, upper 50s inland, and I expect to see low temperatures tonight dropping down probably. We're going to be temperatures tonight into the 50s area wide. With more on that part of I know I wanted to talk about this. Look at the temperature change. So this tells you things are changing. 15, 15, 20, 18, all above average across our area. So that's something that, we're going to be heading in the warmer direction here, at least for the next 24 hours. Now, winds are out of the northeast and east, but they're fairly light. You see this southeasterly flow here. That's starting to bring in the moisture, and this is all going to feed into our next weather maker, which arrives tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning. With more on that part, let's go to meteorologist Dan Nyman.
Yeah, keep an eye on the radar for sure. This time tomorrow, definitely, we could be seeing some activity out there. All quiet right now across the Panhandle, but look back towards the west. It's not all that impressive, but you're starting to pick up on some blips of green sliding on through parts of the Gulf Coast as you look towards parts of coastal Texas. That's where you get a little more thunderstorm activity. And then further east, kind of sitting south of Mobile right now, just a few light straggling showers working their way towards the north. It's this activity here, though, that'll be part of this next system that races on through. Only about 24 hours. We'll be watching for any rainfall. No severe weather expected. In fact, chances of even some thunderstorm activity is quite low. There's There's that green color there, not a marginal risk. That is just a general thunderstorm potential across a pretty large swath of the eastern part of the country. Futurecast here showing you socked in with cloud coverage through the overnight hours tonight. It's sticking around too, so although not raining the entire time throughout the day, it is going to be a somewhat gloomy looking day. And then you see, as we get through the latter hours of the morning there, a bit of heavier rainfall starting to slide on through. And this is something that I'm feeling a little positive about. Of course, we were a little down on the rain chances and the hopes of higher rain totals a little earlier this week. If we can get some of these higher reflectivity values like models are showing here, we could nudge up rain totals just a slight amount. Obviously, not enough to mitigate the drought conditions, but we will take all we can get, and at least right now, looks like we might be able to get a little more than a half an inch of rain across a good swath of the Panhandle. That slides through west to east here, as we often see by 4 o'clock. You already see a pretty decent amount of clearing across the area. Expect timing to change potentially with the actual outcome of the event, but models at least keeping us within that shield of rainfall for a decent amount of time. And that'll be one other aspect that helps us get the totals up there in a short period of time. Couple of straggling showers continue to slide on through. That's the cold front moving through as you get in towards Friday morning. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Just before sunrise, the model's picking up on a few stragglers there. And then shortly after that, the clouds start clearing out. It will, though, get a little colder behind that front once it passes through. Not like what we saw earlier this week or any of the significant cool downs, but maybe just a brief reset before we fully settle into the warm temperatures early next week. Your planner for this evening, temps dropping at first, but notice as you get that moisture increase and the cloud coverage is good insulation out there, temperatures only falling into the lower 50s and then rising in spots as you get towards sunrise. So we'll keep lows into the upper 50s at the coast, lower 50s inland, but a big improvement compared to where we were, say, last night. And of course, Chris, we'll continue to watch for those improvements, taking anything we can get across the area here. Obviously, it's been a cold one. So I know the rainfall might be the story for the next 24 hours, but I think there's some excitement just kind of rumbling around town, at least from about 80% of our population, that it's finally going to be a little warmer again.
Yeah, it's we're going to see temperatures as we head into next week getting up into the 70s, I think, and we'll stay there. Right now, you kind of look out there and you're like, when's it going to get cooler? And I don't know if it's going to get cooler through the end of the year. We'll see. But that's the way the trend is. Christmas lights back once again. And one of our sponsors, Danny Riles Real Estate, has that bus that he takes folks around all over the place. I shared a picture. He had, I think it was a church in Alpha. Was on the bus, and they drive all around looking at the Christmas lights and everything. They should just charge people to like walk around the bus and look at the bus with all those lights. You don't even need to drive it anywhere. But Danny does it all for a good cause. He doesn't accept money other than donations. It goes to a local charity. So that's fantastic. And our friends Coconut Creek Family Fun Park over there on Panama City Beach on Front Beach Road, always with us as well with their sponsorship. We certainly appreciate it. Meanwhile, over into Mexico Beach, speaking of the devil, right when I show the picture from Mexico Beach, Tracy Gaddis chimes in asking sweaters or shirts. And it's definitely looking like shorts for sure. As we look across our area. Ebro, Highway 79, lights there on the east side of 79. This is Defuniak Springs. I was up in Defuniak Springs speaking to the Walton County Emergency Management. It's actually Region 1, which doesn't mean anything to any of y'all, but it's like basically the western half of the Panhandle. Emergency managers get together, and this was their meeting, their quarterly meeting / Christmas meeting, and they do it in Walton County, and they asked me to come speak today about Panhandle weather, so I got to see that Christmas tree right there in downtown Defuniak Springs in person, and it's absolutely fantastic. And then James Way over into Panama City. You can submit your Christmas light photos. You have no excuse. The weather will be perfect this weekend. You get a hall pass tomorrow, although the rain, I think, might move out by the evening hours. Submit them on our website, Christmas Lights, Panhandle Weather, and you see the interactive map there, and you see you can submit your light display pictures right there in the form at the bottom of the screen. So there you go. It is just that easy, my friends.
Oh, we lost you, Chris.
That's okay. I've never looked better.
Yeah, we'll just pull you in like that. How does that look?
It looks fantastic.
So
Let's see.
a couple of comments.
Yes.
The sheriff hosting movie night Friday in Mexico Beach. So there's a chance Friday night could start to take that turn towards the cooler feels. I think, Chris, we're kind of really looking at 24 hours of cooler temperatures behind that front. Not something that lasts all weekend, but the timing not necessarily in your favor to be out in flip-flops and a t-shirt for Friday night.
Yeah.
Saturday night, though, could be a different story.
was-
Good evening to Carla. Jeff saying hello as well. So it's full house here this evening, Chris.
It is. Notice we have a bunch of folks in here. Also, who else did I see? I noticed Locksmith was in here. It was Coastal Keys Locksmith was saying hello, and they're up there. They're Lynn Haven. I think Coastal Keys would make a great sponsor of Panhandle Weather, the official locksmith. So, like, if
I don't know if we could put people on spot like that.
now they're getting a free mention. So, you know,
There
like,
are no rules.
If we lock ourselves out of the house and we can't get into my studio garage, you know, we call Coastal Keys, and they're right there for us.
I locked myself out of the car today, honestly, didn't put the battery tender on the car, which is more of the same story. So just one of those
it's
days.
time for a new car when, like, you're actually not able to get in your car anymore without the actual
It's just time for a
keys.
new battery. I'll keep that thing running for longer than most cars ever get to live.
Well, now, I mean, with Coastal Keys, like, you just call them and they would get you right back in your car. You have no need to get a new car now.
No, I don't know. Do you do batteries? We'll talk after the commercial break. Stick around.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. With professional grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health? Being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Toyotathon is on at Panama City Toyota, where you can get 1.99% APR on a new Camry and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 3.49% APR on a new Corolla and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 1.99% on a new Tacoma, plus $1,000 in holiday cash. And 1.99% on a new Tundra, plus you'll get $1,000 in holiday cash. Shake up your holidays at Toyotathon.
Now, from your trusted team of meteorologists at Panhandle Weather, this is your evening forecast update.
And good evening. Hope you're having a wonderful evening across Northwest Florida. We're waiting. We got rain on the way, and we're going to kind of get into the nitty-gritty of that, how much rain we can expect, the timing, and all that here in just a minute. But David Wesley sent this picture. David's like all fancy because he has like a remote camera. So even when he's when he's not here, he can still send us pictures from that beautiful view from his condo there. And then on the way back in Columbus, he captured some pretty cool clouds there up in Columbus, Georgia, heading back to Atlanta.
Some gravity waves there, it looked like.
Yeah.
Make sure my microphone is on. I always love seeing stuff like that. Just something out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
To be honest, the clouds around here can be pretty ordinary.
You got a contrail there down at the bottom. So pretty cool
Columbus,
stuff.
Georgia. Nice. Well, we appreciate the photos coming on in, and then of course we appreciate the warmer temperatures across the area. Of course, Chris as well. Things have been feeling a little bit better. trigger happy here.
There you
It's
go.
the cold. It's making my hand shake. I need to turn the heat on, but I just can't afford to right now. Here's a look in Destin at the moment. Temperatures now inside of the 60s. Look at dew point temperatures, though. Let me pull that up for you so you can see it a little bit better. Dew point temperatures now are inside of the upper 50s on our way towards the 60s. And Baytown Courtyard is a happening place tonight.
Hey,
Looks like
look
we've got
at
some
that.
performances going.
It's
This
the
is a great shot.
This is the Nutcracker.
Oh, we're in the wrong place tonight. Things are looking good. Got the lawn chairs out. Definitely some coats you can see out there. I think that's more of a symptom of Floridians not being used to temperatures in the 60s than it actually being all that cold out just yet. Winds pretty light on some of these airport readings, however, you can see, and it'll speed up and slow down here with the frame rate issues, but that yellow flag blowing a little bit here with that east-southeasterly wind, about 8 miles an hour in Panama City Beach. So we might be seeing that pick up just a slight amount. You do see a couple of waves coming ashore there right now. And that's kind of part of what's happening here as we work through the next several days. We're going to see some changes come through pretty quickly here. We've got warm sunshine and dry weather for the morning hours today. But of course, tomorrow, clouds moving in already, then the rainfall, and then after that, temperatures are going to take a little bit of a wintry reset, at least for a brief period of time. So there was your planner there. Look at rain chances picking up here over the next 24 hours. Obviously, we'll start watching right around sunrise tomorrow. I think the heart of the day is to get through the late morning hours and through the afternoon will be kind of the peak. We'll have to watch for some of those heavier bands of rainfall to slide on through. Doesn't look like a super active setup for thunderstorms, but obviously monitoring at least a good soaking of rainfall for anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. Watch the winds changing here. That northeasterly wind in the eastern part of the viewing area shifting to more of a southeasterly wind and picking up just a slight amount as well as you work back west towards Pensacola, Fort Walton Beach. You'll be picking up on a slight increase in winds as you get through the midday hours, and you'll see pretty gusty out there as the peak of the rainfall moves through. Most of that non-thunderstorm winds, just watching that low sliding across the area. Still onshore as you get through Thursday evening, but notice it won't be long after that before we see a front pass through, and as you get through Friday, breezy northwesterly winds, which will help to knock down temperatures a bit, and temperatures throughout the day might feel a little colder as well with that dry northwesterly wind continuing to slide on through. So that'll be the setup for the rest of Friday. The sunshine will be back out by that time frame, but it'll feel colder, and that's especially the case for Friday night. Winds starting to lighten up here, 5 to 10 miles per hour. That, of course, is pretty ideal for temperatures to begin to drop. So let's talk about Thursday first. A pretty interesting setup for us here. Temps dropping down into the 50s across the area tomorrow morning. Upper 50s at the coast as you get towards I-10. Much closer to the lower 50s in many locations. As low as 50 degrees I saw up towards Chipley and Bonifay, Crestview as well, and back towards Milton. Temperatures right there around 52 or 53 degrees. So the kids probably going to still need a couple of layers, maybe a raincoat and a backpack there for the after school activities, because that's probably around the time frame for at least areas east of 79 to still be dealing with some of the heavier batches of rainfall. High temperatures though, with that onshore wind, the return of some humidity despite the clouds, we will see us back up into the upper 60s, 70s for some locations, just barely touching it, but a welcome change of course as well. Here's the setup. You've got that upper level system track of the lows basically following that pathway now, but then on the surface where we are, you've got an onshore wind picking up. And for today, that was bringing the moisture back towards coastal Texas. We showed at the start of the show the return of showers and thunderstorms in that area as a result. This, of course, all sliding east. So by tomorrow, that's more of our problem. The parent low pressure system, though, all the way up towards the northern part of the country, and that's wrapping around some much colder air, still some moisture to work with too. So wind's a big story across parts of Montana. I saw parts of Idaho picking up on wind gusts well in excess of 60 miles per hour from just the pressure system itself. And then, of course, the wintry weather stretches through parts of northern North Dakota. You've got it up towards Wisconsin as well. Rainfall, though, all out ahead of this front, which eventually, of course, is our problem here. You see more of a southwesterly wind, but still enough to pick up on that moisture out of the Gulf. The system track carries that low towards us, and we will see at least a good soaking of rain, like we talked about, for anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, maybe off and on in nature. Not much by way of severe weather expected with this. In fact, just a couple of thunderstorms towards the coast today, and then you'll see tomorrow that expands northward, but again, just a general thunderstorm potential with this system. We're not necessarily talking about anything problematic, maybe a couple of coastal rumbles of thunder, but the chances of that are pretty low, and Chris will talk about that in just a second. As far as rain chances, though, they have trended upwards since we last talked about them. You'll see here, we start the day off with about a 50% chance around sunrise back towards Pensacola. Low chances east, that's because of timing. As we work through the day, those chances will continue to increase, and you'll see pretty much coastal inland spots all picking up on a nice helping of rainfall regardless of location, and that'll be something that is going to be much needed, even if not really enough to work our way out of the drought conditions. Doesn't take all that long, though, for us to find the back edge of this. You have a nice window there where rain ends maybe right around the evening commute or shortly beforehand, and then 12 to 15 hours before the front moves through, where things will still feel pretty warm, maybe a bit sticky outside. Once those rain chances drop off completely Friday morning, that'll be the end of us enjoying this slightly more humid air mass, which of course is keeping the temperatures warm, Chris. Afterwards, I think 24 hours, we might be feeling the dry air, the temperature will be cool, the afternoon highs, we'll probably call those seasonal for right now.
Yeah, what we're going to end up seeing as our front moves on through, that front is going to bring in cooler air briefly. So I think for Friday, Saturday, it will feel pretty decent. And not like it won't feel terrible Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but it's definitely going to be noticeably warmer. So while today we are in the 70s and tomorrow we'll be in the upper 60s to near 70, I think Friday will be like well down into the 60s and Saturday well down into the 60s, and that's going to be that cooler air mass. So let's go through your future cast. This starts things off tonight at 9 o'clock. Notice just generally cloudy skies across our area. As we head through the overnight hours, a few showers towards Pensacola, maybe a couple passing through for your morning commute. But the big stuff starts coming in as we head into your Thursday, and then it rapidly moves out as we head into Thursday evening. So for say events like the Christmas Fest in Chipley, they went ahead and moved it to Friday. And I think that was the smart move. Although there was a real possibility this rain moves out in time, but I think the risk was too high, and the weather Friday is guaranteed to be great. So I think, that was probably the right call. But the timing of all of this is going to be the best chance, some spotty stuff early morning. The best stuff comes late morning into the afternoon, and then most of it's gone by the evening. When we look at how much rain we're going to expect to see, this is the national blend of models. It's a combination of all the different models averaging it together. So there's some that are higher and some that are lower. And you come up here and you see most of them are in that 1/2 inch to 1 inch range across our area. But there are some places that pick up a little bit more than that, and some are going to end up seeing a little bit less. But I think a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rainfall is pretty good. I think 2 inches is on the high side, and maybe 1/4 inch is going to be on the low side. So it's not nothing. Going to end up being a decent rain. Look at compared to just a few days ago when rain chances were quite a bit lower. We'll go ahead and take this. It's going to be a decent rain, and we could definitely use that rainfall because I don't see any for the rest of the year. So as far as the chances of thunderstorms, the numbers are relatively low, about 10% chance of seeing thunderstorms. So I don't think this is obviously going to be a severe weather event. There will be a chance of thunderstorms, but more than anything, it's going to be a good rain across our area, as Dan was saying, for maybe 6 hours or so for your Thursday. Temperatures for Friday morning, we start the cool down 49 in Crestview, but mainly 50s across our area. Where you'll feel it will be Friday afternoon. Highs will be into the low to mid 60s. So, and it's going to be breezier, and it's also going to be less humid because that moisture is getting pushed down to the south. So when we look at rain chances, we're high tomorrow, but then look after that. Smooth sailing right on through the weekend and into next week. So here's how it all shakes out. We have this trough of low pressure back here to the west. That's what's going on right now. This begins to swing on through. That brings us a rain on Thursday. After that, we settle into a zonal flow, which is going to be basically not too warm, not too cold. We'll be like average to above average across our area. And as we head on into next week, we start to see a ridge of high pressure develop out here, and that will begin to expand in our direction as we head through Christmas week. And that's where we think we'll be seeing the above average temperatures heading into Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. And even looking out beyond that, we're not seeing anything that's going to kind of break down this weather pattern. So we've updated the graphic for Chipley Christmas Fest. Friday, 3 until 9, 59, 54, down into the 40s. So you're talking hot chocolate type of weather and you're not needing to take the umbrella. It's going to get you in the Christmas spirit. Weewa's Christmas Parade is Saturday at 5 Central. You'll be right around 60 degrees under mostly clear skies. So as far as Christmas week, so now we go Christmas Day through New Year's Eve. And look at the country. I mean, especially the central part of the country, expected to be way above average. But as you look here into the southeast, we still have a very high likelihood of above average temperatures. But, you know, pretty much the whole country is going to end up seeing above average temperatures. Now, when it comes to precipitation, wet weather out to the west, and then here across the southeast, we're going to be looking at a likely chance of drier than average conditions. Again, not seeing a lot on the map of saying like, oh, not saying it won't rain before the end of the year, but there's nothing sticking out right now as like, oh, this is like a big pattern shift and we're going to get a lot of rainfall. Temperatures, again, this is December 25th through the 31st, just a closer view across our area, and it's just, you know, above average temperatures and below average precipitation expected here. So 7-day forecast, you get one chance of rainfall pretty much. That's tomorrow. It's at least a good chance, and we're getting more beneficial rainfall than what it looked like a few days ago. Again, I think close to an inch of rainfall is very, very possible. Some of us could see more, obviously a little bit less in some spots, but I think it's going to be a good rain. Chance of thunderstorms, although it's not expected to be severe. Cooler for Friday, Saturday. You'll see those low temperatures drop into the 30s and 40s, so it'll be chilly but not a freeze. And then next week, you'll see temperatures up into the upper 60s, but that's because the beaches are influenced by the water, and the water temperature is still 61, 62 degrees. So that's why you're not seeing 70s, whereas if you look inland, you're 72, 70, 74, 74 degrees. So it's going to be warm all across Northwest Florida, but obviously the beaches right next to the water temperature is cooler, will keep you a little bit cooler, but still, it's going to be feeling fantastic. And Tim says the fishing is going to be awesome. And
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance you're right, because without any weather makers and a big ridge of high pressure, the wind won't be too bad, and that means you're not going to be getting much more than, you know, 1-2 foot seas, so you should be able to get the boat out.
Yeah, high pressure is best case scenario here for some off-time fishing. Hope we got between Christmas and New Year's off and can take advantage of it. I'm looking forward to this weather pattern. Things quiet pretty much on the ensemble models too, Chris, for a long period of time. I don't really look past like the 15th day on the ensembles and kind of shoot for the median and find where the middle 50% is, but it's a lot of warmth, maybe some variability in the week between Christmas and New Year's, but not enough to call it a weather story or a weather maker.
Yeah.
But obviously what goes up must come down, so let's enjoy it while we can.
Yeah, the other shoe's going to drop. It's just a matter of when. So enjoy what we have, and if you don't like the warm weather, then tough. It'll get cold again. That's the way it works. Just be
Tim
patient.
says, hope my boss approved the PTO. You know what PTO stands for in our neck of the woods is prepare the others.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be there.
Yeah, tell me what PTO is. We're on a 7-day-a-week schedule. If the weather stays quiet for Christmas, maybe we'll take Christmas off.
Yeah. Either way, great show tonight.
Yeah.
Love the support comment section. It's great to see all of you joining us here. We'll do a quick plug of the Panhandle Weather mobile app. If you don't have it yet, you could have been watching this there. Obviously, if you're watching on your phone, you can't scan the QR code, but you can go to the iTunes App Store or Google Play and get that downloaded on your phone. It's a whole lot more than just us talking. You've got the interactive radar, Chris. You've got the forecast that comes right out of our weather computer when we input that twice a day. And then you've got all the weather graphics, too, that could be useful for, say, a fishing trip next week.
Yes. And also today I was speaking to the Walton County Emergency, the meeting I was telling you about. I did snap a couple pictures, but I had to tell Miss Lynn Abel, that's her in the middle, who doesn't look like she's old enough to retire, but apparently she says she is, so she did. But she is the Public Safety Director for Washington County. She's retired now, and they honored her, rightfully so, today at the meeting. And I've known Lynn my whole career, and she was there a little bit before me. So anyway, congratulations to her, and thanks for having me up today, guys, to talk about the changing landscape of broadcasting and Panhandle weather.
Sounded like a good time. Some good pie, I heard. Chris's pumpkin pie, world famous.
Yes, look, Walton. Everyone brought sides, and Walton County provided the meat. So, and it was all fantastic. So, thanks again.
Yeah, thanks again for tuning in as well. We'll be here for tomorrow's rainfall. Maybe we'll go live. I don't think we're gonna have to go live because of the weather, but it'll be nice to talk about something.
Yeah,
so
if there's something
we'll see
going
how the
on,
day plays out.
Yep, we'll be here for you regardless.
We will catch you either way tomorrow at 6 o'clock. New updates are dropping in the channel, of course. They dropped in about a half an hour ago, so the latest forecast will be on throughout the evening tonight.
Bye-bye.